Isle of Wight County School Board's in session.
Mr. Chair, I move that the closed meeting was conducted in conformity with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act as required by Section 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia, and certify that only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements were discussed, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Colick,
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins,
Yes.
Mr. Wooster,
Yes.
and Mr. Marsh.
Yes, motion passes. Mr. Wooster?
Would everyone please stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Good evening. Come on, good evening. All right, it's December 11th, 2025, and we are in Westside Elementary School for the last regular board meeting of 2025. Hoorah indeed, sir. Yeah, let's get to it. Ms. Briggs, you're up, ma'am.
I am ready. And Dr. Coleman's going to join me. All right. We are going to do our Isle of Wight Achievers. The vision for Isle of Wight County Schools is to create a learning environment that will enable every child to discover his or her unique gifts and talents. And the Isle of Wight Achievers section of our board meeting gives us an opportunity to recognize and celebrate our students and staff for their unique talents and gifts. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to ask that all of our board members come down on the floor, Dr. Kramer as well, and our student liaisons. And as we have our achievers come up, Dr. Coleman is going to hand you a pin. You will shake the hands of all of our members from the dais up here. Then we will have you stand in front of the backdrop for a photo. Mr. David Elliott will come get a photo, and that is the perfect time for any family members who are here to come on down, as they say, and join in to get a photo or be in the photo. So looks like we got everybody down here. So we are going to go ahead and get started, and we've got a couple recognitions from Windsor High School. We are going to first start with cross country, and we are going to recognize Bristol Stallings. And Bristol's going to come on down. Dr. Coleman's got a pin for her. And let me tell you what Bristol's being recognized for. Bristol had an outstanding season for the Windsor High School girls cross country team, earning accolades and making her mark as only a sophomore. She finished 5th at the 25 Region 2A Championships in Williamsburg on October 31st, securing all region honors, and advanced to compete at the VHSL Class 2 State Championship in Salem on November 8th, where she joined the top runners in Virginia. Guided by coaches, and you come on down, coaches, Kara Haltewanger and Holly Getz, Bristol's impressive achievements this year highlight her dedication, talent, and tremendous potential for an exceptional cross-country career. You got Ms. Haltewanger? All right, very good. And I'm not sure if Ms. Getz was able to join us tonight, Ms. Holly Getz. So, excellent work, Bristol. Excellent work, Coach. We're going to applaud. And Mr. Elliott's going to take a photo. I'm not sure if Mr. Elliott is, yeah. Yeah. You good, Mr. Stallings? Yes. Always have a backup plan. All right. Congratulations again, Bristol. We look forward to seeing you back for a couple more of these. All right. Now, moving on to theater. The Windsor High theater team had another outstanding season, winning the Region 2A championship against 5 other schools. The team competed in the Class 2 state championship on December 5th, just this past weekend in Charlottesville. There, the team placed 4th, and we want to recognize the team and the team members. So team members include, we're going to first start with Coach Virginia Beatty Riffle. So come on up, Coach Riffle. Yep. And we have team members John Bishop, Grace Cox, come on, Austin Darden, Tremel Duck, Aislinn Graney, Kimberly Fridley, Diana Gonzalez, Lillian Griffin, Morgan Griffith, Lana Janis, Kendall Jones, Abigail Ladd, Jason Langford, Paxton Langford, Nicolette Lozano Naveau, Gabriel Markham, Savannah Mays, McKinley Moore, Ryan O'Neill, Emma Pierce, Maddie Plews, Zachary Sharp, David Sparrow, and Gracie Rombach. And Gracie, I'm not sure, I think Gracie is at a basketball game tonight. Gracie received an honorable mention in the Best Actor category. And Tremel Duck, hold your hand up, Tremel. There's Tremel. Tremel earned a Best Actor award in the regional competition and also a Best Actor award in the state competition. She's the first person to receive this award at the Class 2 state level for Windsor High. Good job, Tremel. Yay. Woo. We are in the presence of a state champion. That is awesome. We're very proud of all of y'all, and I'm going to have Mr. Elliott arrange you guys for a photo. Can we see we got windows there? All right, congratulations. Very good. All right, and one more recognition from Windsor High. I Love Wight County Schools is proud to announce that Windsor High School's nurse, Shay Pugh, has been selected as the 2025 School Nurse of the Year by the Virginia Association of School Nurses. The prestigious honor was announced during the organization's statewide conference in November. Nurse Pugh exemplifies excellence in every aspect of her work, embracing the unique role of bridging healthcare and education through student-centered, community-informed care. Her impact extends far beyond the walls of the clinic. She has been recognized at the division level as a RISE Award nominee for exemplary service, collaborated with leadership at Virginia Commonwealth University to help Windsor High School become Virginia's first heart-safe high school, and co-developed the School Nurses Mental Health Toolkit 2024 edition, a resource now used by school health professionals statewide. Her dedication, innovation, and unwavering commitment to student well-being make her an invaluable leader within Windsor High School and the greater Isle of Wight County Schools community. Isle of Wight County Schools is honored to celebrate her outstanding achievements and the profound difference she makes every day in the lives of students, families, and staff. Congratulations, Nurse Shay, on this well-deserved recognition. Good job. And once again, this is a great time for families to come down, get a photo, or anybody else that wants to take a picture. Perfect time. Okay, good. Yep, absolutely. Family, friends, and coworkers. Yep. Okay. Congratulations. All right. Now we're going to move to our Seniors of the Month. The Senior of the Month for December from Windsor High is a name that you just heard. It's Tremel Mel Duck. So Tremel, come on back up. So Tremel has demonstrated sustained academic excellence, impressive extracurricular involvement, and meaningful service to her school and community. While preparing for a future major in biology, she has successfully balanced a challenging course load with leadership roles and volunteer commitments, showing exceptional maturity and responsibility. Her achievements in public speaking and theater at the regional, super regional, and state levels highlight both her talent and her dedication to developing her craft. Mel's compassion for others is equally noteworthy. She has volunteered at multiple blood drives, delivered meals to families in need, supported educational programs for young children, and provided care and comfort to hospice and dementia patients within her family. Her reliability shines through her work as a babysitter and in organizing a church fundraiser, further demonstrating initiative and service-minded leadership. Quote, Mel is one of the stars of the senior class. Not only is she gifted in the realm of academics, she has shown her impressive speech skills and joined the theater and forensics teams in state-level competitions. Mel is also one of the kindest, friendliest, and most genuine young adults in the school. No matter where she goes in life, she will continue to represent Windsor High as a graduate embodying the high qualities that we hope to instill in our students. And that's from Mr. Burgess, a history teacher. While Tremel plans to study biology in college, she is still in the decision-making phase for selecting the school for which she will attend. Congratulations so much, Tremel. We're very proud of you. And I know you have some family here if they would like to come up and join you. No, they're coming. Here we go. Aw. Congratulations once again. The December Senior of the Month from Smithfield High School is Jackson Young. Jackson is an exceptional student whose strong academic performance, leadership, and dedication to service make him an outstanding representative of Smithfield High School. In addition to excelling in the classroom, Jackson is deeply involved in the school community through varsity soccer, the JROTC Raider team, the swim team, and the National Honor Society. As the JROTC Battalion Commander, he has earned the respect of his peers and instructors through his integrity, initiative, and ability to inspire others. Under Jackson's leadership, the Smithfield High JROTC Raider team delivered top performances across multiple events at the 4th Brigade Best of Best qualifier competition, including areas such as physical fitness, endurance challenges, and team strength events. Their hard work culminated in a first-place finish in the mixed team division, securing a spot at the Best of Best competition at Fort Bragg, North Carolina in March. Lieutenant Colonel Bedoin shared these words about Jackson. Jackson Young is an exceptional student athlete and a highly effective leader. As battalion commander, he leads by example, supporting his peers, accepting and applying feedback, and consistently demonstrating integrity and determination. His vision and drive were instrumental in establishing the co-ed Raider team, which earned a first-place finish at its very first Best of Best qualifier. Jackson's character, work ethic, and leadership set the standard for our program and will serve him well in his future military career. After graduation, Jackson plans to attend either the Coast Guard Academy or Norwich University, where he hopes to develop as a military officer while continuing to play collegiate soccer. Congratulations, Jackson. Yay. And families coming up too. Yep. We good? Congratulations once again. And we have one more Senior of the Month, but we're backtracking because we did not have our November one here. Actually, both of our Novembers were not here, but one of them is here tonight, so please indulge me. The Senior of the Month from Smithville High for November is Sydney Wells. So Sydney's going to come up now. And let me tell you about Sydney. Sydney exemplifies academic excellence, strong leadership, and integrity. A dedicated and highly motivated student, she manages a rigorous academic load while serving as senior class president, where she fosters unity and school spirit. Her work organizing this year's homecoming events, coordinating logistics, collaborating with staff and students, and ensuring every detail came together, highlighted her creativity, teamwork, and commitment to her peers. Her teacher, Allison Simon, shared these words about Sydney. Sydney Wells has been my student for only 2 months, but it is obvious to me that she is making the most of her educational experience while here. As a student, she is always attentive and engaged during instruction, and the quality of her work shows her depth of understanding. We spoke of her aspirations to pursue a degree in environmental engineering, and I believe that this young lady will succeed at this and other future endeavors as well. So after graduation, Sydney plans to attend either Virginia Tech, yay, or Georgia Tech to pursue a degree in industrial or environmental engineering. Yay, congratulations, Sydney. All right, Mr. Elliott's going to get a photo. And family members, please come on down. I know she's got some family here. Yeah? All good. Congratulations once again, Sydney. And thank you, board members. That is going to conclude Isle of Wight Achievers. Thanks to everybody who came out tonight for recognition or to support those that were being recognized. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season.
Hello, we are students from Carrollton and Hardy Elementary Schools, representing the gifted programs at our schools. We are going to share how we have implemented the depth and complexity icons into our gifted classrooms this year, and an AI research project that we completed to learn more about individuals with a significant connection to Virginia.
This year in our gifted classrooms, we began using the depth and complexity icons to guide our learning and to enhance our high-level critical thinking skills. The icons are used to describe lenses of thinking to guide our learning. These icons help us go beyond basic facts and understand ideas in a smarter, more thoughtful way. We use them in gifted classes to help us ask better questions and explain our thinking more clearly. The different icons are language of the discipline, details, patterns, rules, trends, unanswered questions, ethics, big idea, overtime, multiple perspectives, and across disciplines.
During our AI research project, we were all responsible for choosing a person with a significant connection to the state of Virginia. We chose individuals from a range of disciplines, including historical figures, athletes, scientists, and past U.S. presidents. We learned how to use AI technology along with other traditional research methods to gain knowledge about a person. The depth and complexity icons that we focused on for this project were big idea, details, and unanswered questions. These helped us guide our research and think deeper about our person.
During this project, our teachers introduced us to the concept of AI technology
AI technology stands for artificial intelligence. It's kind of like teaching a computer to think and learn the way people do. AI can look at lots of information, find patterns, and help us answer questions or solve problems. It doesn't know things on its own. It learns from examples that people give it. AI is a tool that helps us learn, not something that replaces our learning. This tool was a great research tool and allowed us to try something new.
When using AI, it is always important to use it safely, just like we would when using a search engine on the internet. The AI technology we used was called a character chatbot on the platform Magic School. This tool allowed us to have a real-time conversation with our selected historical figure. We were able to ask real-time questions and have an interactive conversation with our person to gain insightful information to help guide our research.
Here are a few examples of what those conversations looked like. For this example, the conversation was occurring with George Washington. We had the option to type our conversation or use microphone tool to create our responses to our questions. The AI technology used their online information database to construct real-time responses to our questions. This is where the depth and complexity icon of unanswered questions came into play. Our teachers helped us create guiding questions such as, how did this person's work relate to larger historical events or movements to help conduct our conversation. We also had creative freedom to ask questions as our conversation developed, just like a conversation with a friend. We got sidetracked a time or two.
This way of conducting research allowed us as students to explore AI technology in a safe and productive way, while creating exposures to a research method we had never used before. We made sure to use digital etiquette, like using initials instead of names, and only discussing school-appropriate topics of conversation. AI technology is changing how classrooms look and how we learn, and this project was an exciting way to incorporate something new.
I have one question for the young lady that spoke last. What did you learn about digital etiquette?
Digital etiquette instead of digital etiquette, like we used initials instead of names.
Got it. So that people wouldn't know who you were as a student, correct?
Yes.
Very good. And for the young man with the bow tie, when you were using the chat box, was it easier to type your question or use the microphone?
In my opinion, it is easier to use the microphone tool because you don't have to type in every single letter.
I tend to agree with you. Anything else you'd like to add? What do you think about AI? I don't think it's going away. Anything else from the board? All right, very good. Thank you all. right, Madam Clerk, do we have someone signed up to speak?
Yes.
Excellent.
In accordance to policy BDDH-E, presentation of information on any subject will be concluded at the discretion of the board. No person will be recognized to speak more than once. Citizens scheduled on the agenda to speak will be permitted 4 minutes maximum time for their presentation. Delegations will be requested to limit their speakers to 2. Persons speaking are asked to be specific, state the issues for the board's consideration, and attach a copy of your prepared remarks. If you have prepared remarks, they should be given to the board clerk. Please do not approach the board members. Any matter relating to specific students will be heard by the school board only in a closed meeting. And first we have Greg Brown.
I'm not touching that. All right, thank you. Good evening, Dr. Kramer, board members, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here tonight not just on behalf of myself, but also representing the Hardy Elementary School PTA, and I am here to speak about the need for continued urgency in replacing the building we're in right now, Westside Elementary School. We've all seen the video that Principal Johnson and his staff put together documenting some of the many issues they're dealing with in this nearly 100-year-old building. I mean, my hat is off to the teachers and staff that are really going above and beyond, working around leaky roofs, buckling floors, and plumbing issues to try to get the instruction to our students. But we as a community are doing a disservice to our children by asking them to try to learn in a building in this condition. To start with, I'd like to thank the board members, Dr. Kramer, and the staff for beginning the process to replace Westside by starting the selection of the design firm. I believe the due date for responses to the request for proposal was yesterday, so hopefully we got some strong proposals from prospective architects, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about the process later in hopefully this meeting. I'd also like to thank you for taking the time last board meeting to explain the selection process for the architect and clear up some of the misrepresentations that have been put out by a few individuals that have their own agendas. The need to replace Westside Elementary is urgent. The building is well past its useful life, and continued Band-Aid fixes will result in diminishing returns. Rehabilitation of the existing building should not even be considered. Setting aside the fact that the layout of the building itself doesn't make any sense due to the repeated expansion over the years, a lot of the issues with the building are with the underlying structure and the utilities in and under the building, and a rehab wouldn't address any of those issues. I'm well aware that even with the best possible timeline for this project, my own children will not get to experience a new Westside Elementary School. They will have graduated out by that time. But personal benefit cannot be the lens through which we view projects like this. It is really easy for people to talk about how important children are and mouth homilies like our children are the future, but we need to put our money where our mouth is. Westside Elementary School should have been replaced years ago. It wasn't, and we can't change the past. What we can do is take action right now and moving forward to pursue the replacement of Westside Elementary School with purpose, commitment, and urgency. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Lee Hanley.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Kramer. I was here in November asking for a new Westside School, and just like my kids asking for the newest gaming system, I'm back again. Because I've learned anything as a parent, it's this: the ask doesn't go away just because the adults get tired. Last month, I talked about urgency. Tonight, I'd like to add a little Christmas spirit to it, because at this point, even Santa is looking at Westside saying, wow, they really need a new building. And Santa, he's seen a few things. Our school is older than half the Christmas decorations in my attic, and trust me, that's saying something. If Westside were a Christmas present, it would be the one mysterious gift underneath the tree wrapped in that old newspaper because you ran out of the real wrapping paper. And you're just hoping no one notices. But our kids notice, our staff notice, and our parents definitely notice. And none of them should have to keep pretending everything is fine while the ceiling tile flirts with the idea of falling like a beautiful snowflake. I know funding a new school is a huge responsibility, but here is the thing. Our children's future doesn't fit down a chimney. It needs real budget line. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, and tonight I'm back, festively. Consider me the jingle bell you'll keep hearing until we make some real progress. I promise to be cheerful, but I won't be quiet. Our kids deserve a modern, safe, thriving school, not the educational equivalent of a fruitcake that nobody wants. So, as we enter this season of giving, I'm asking you to give our students something far better than toys or tinsel, momentum, funding, and a commitment to move this project forward. And I thank you for everything you've done so far. We really appreciate our school board members, and we really, really do appreciate you. And we can't wait to celebrate you next month, because next month is School Board Appreciation Month, and we will be back. So let's make next year the one where Westside's future doesn't depend on holiday magic, but on real action. Thank you, and may your budgets and your spirits be merry and bright this holiday season. Westside Elementary, PTA.
Thank you, ma'am.
Herb DeGroft.
Board members, Mr. Chairman, and Dr. Kramer, Herb DeGroff, District 5. Earlier tonight, I sent you my more detailed remarks by email. But November 25th, 2025's check register documents a $49,000 expenditure for the west side roof, the second roof-related expense for WSCS that I've seen. At the 7 October 25 joint board meetings, Dr. Coleman said he'd obtained a quote for a new west side roof 3 to 4 years ago at a cost of $1.75 million, listed on the 11 September 2025 CIP priority list that this board approved and documented in minutes. However, I've never been able to locate that quote, and Dr. Coleman has not responded when I ask about it. The earliest west side roof repair cost I could find is documented in April of 21's board minutes, 16 months before Dr. Kramer became superintendent in August of 22. Facts and board-approved minutes conflict, in my opinion, with statements made by Ms. Briggs in the 19 November Smithfield Times article, where she claimed design services occurred 2 years before the west side roof issue resurfaced. In fact, RRMM was paid in February of 23, almost 2 years after, but not before, IWCS's board-approved west side roof repair costs in April of 21. Anyone on top of this ongoing problem effectively? Secondly, item 16.5, CIP amendment. The school board voted on 11 September to approve a CIP that included a priority list but lacked detailed construction cost estimates for Westside. Why? It had a question mark for the cost estimate. In my opinion, this violates policies FB and FBR, which require detailed cost estimates. Noted, the SCAP 25 application did not have this for all items. The 4 December 2025 Smithfield Times article detailing our school system's 25 SCAP application to VDOE states that Westside was submitted with an estimated cost of $70 million. You all should note that this $17 million has never been shared in any board meeting or voted on that I can find on or before Dr. Kramer's 19 November submission. Why? Each of you voted in September of 25 for the CIP with no cost estimate of Westside. I asked directly, did Dr. Kramer commit fraud of a public document by reviewing and approving a SCAP application to VDOE on the 19th of November this year, listing a $70 million cost for Westside without this board's vote during a public board meeting? And if the board amends the CIP tonight by public vote to align with that figure, would doing so constitute accessory to fraud by those board members who vote yes? Please think and vote to table this item and get legal counsel first, please. Colic 6 December 22 email to Marish had questions for Dr. Kramer and staff concerning policy FFA to be answered for the December 22 board meeting. This email warned that altering dates on public records could constitute a Class 4 felony. He cited VA Code 18.2-168 that states that forging a public record or editing a record as true as a felony. So I've asked two questions that may involve possible VA code violations here this evening. I ask for public answers by this board before any public vote is taken on the CIP amendment. I request that the board members consider that the most important thing pressing to this board is teacher salaries. Inequities, in my opinion, millions should go into teacher compensation rather than projects not board approved of $130 million in school construction with continually K through 12 declining enrollment. The compensation study proposed was due 31 July of this year, over 4 months ago, and still nothing has been presented. Why?
Time.
Thank you very much.
That was our last speaker, Mr. Marsh.
Thank you. All right, so that takes us to 14.1, student liaisons. Ms. Cameron, would you like to lead, please?
Okay. Good afternoon, school board. I hope you all enjoyed Thanksgiving break, as this is our first time seeing each other since the week that we had off, thanks to the calendar that you all on the school board and Dr. Kramer approved. So we at Smithfield High School thank you, and we appreciate that. To start, I'll just go over the largest and most pressing topic that was brought up to me by a couple students over the past month, which is the removal of Packer Block, or more specifically, the limiting of Packer Block activity to just remediation. I understand that this isn't inherently a school board issue, that it's much more widespread than that, and there's only so much that the board can do. That being said, it has been brought up to me a number of times, concerns coming primarily from members of clubs who feel that this will force them to choose between their after-school sports and the clubs that they are a part of, therefore hindering the number of activities that they're able to participate in and the amount of things that they can put on their college applications. Once again, I am aware that this is not an issue that is necessarily delegated to the school board and that there's only so much you can do about it, but I just thought that I would bring it up anyway on behalf of the students at Smithfield High School who have spoke to me. If there are any steps, small as they may be, that you can take to remedy the situation, even little things, because I feel that that might help. Other than that, we've had some snow days over the past few weeks, and as far as I've received from earlier this week, we still don't have a CTE nurse teacher, so in our nurses aid program. So that's all I wanted to bring up, but that's everything I have.
Thanks, Cameron. Doc, you want to speak to some of that?
Well, to a few of your points. One, regarding Packer Block, that is a school issue. That's a matter that should be addressed by interim principal Williams. So please have that discussion with him, and I can certainly follow up as well. Regarding the nursing position, there is a solution. I'll ask Mrs. Getz when she's, you don't have to come now, but later we can address that. There is a solution. Perhaps all of you are not aware of that. We have shared that with the parents of the students in the program, so we can speak to that as well. I think that those were your overarching concerns, but thank you very much for that.
Thanks, Doc Kramer. Thanks, Cameron. Cole.
Good evening. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Good evening, Chairman Marsh, Dr. Kramer, school board members, and listeners at home. Tonight, I would like to start off by thanking Dr. Kramer for that terrific 5-day weekend. I hope all of our students and staff caught up on sleep and especially schoolwork. I know everyone eagerly anticipates that call from Miss Briggs on a late evening night, right? Okay, now I would like to recognize Windsor High School's November Student Spotlights. Student Spotlight is an amazing way to make our Dukes feel seen and appreciated by our school and also inspire other students to get more involved. For 9th grade, we have Nicholas Slaba. 10th grade is Bristol Stallings. 11th grade is Jalea Holloman. And 12th grade is Addison Meha. Congratulations to our outstanding Dukes this past month. The WHS basketball team has started their season, and they're doing pretty well, as I've heard. After winning first place at the Regional 2A Theater Tournament under Coach Beatty, Windsor High School's theater team traveled to Charlottesville in the 6 for states. Windsor senior Chamel Duck earned her Best Actress Award for the state competition, her second one of the season, and became the first Windsor High student to ever receive this honor at the state level. With a score out of 93 to 100, the Dukes finished in 4th place. Great job, Dukes. Tonight, it would be my absolute pleasure to congratulate the top nurse in the state of Virginia, which I am proud to say is a Duke. Some people may think school nurses are just Band-Aids and ice packs, but they are far from that, especially Nurse Shea. She truly cares about the student body. She is a safe space for many of the students here at Windsor, and we are so thankful to have a woman like her to be there for us, not to judge us, but instead help us overcome huge obstacles in our young lives. Nurse Shay not only makes our lives, personal lives better, but takes it to the next level by celebrating our achievements with us. To speak on a more personal level, thank you, Nurse Shay, for everything you have done, not just for the castle and the students inside, but the students also outside of it by advocating for mental health and access to help for those in need. You not only deserve this terrific and outstanding award, but you embody its principles and go above and beyond them. Thank you. Thank you, guys. That's all I have for tonight.
Thanks, young man. Well said.
Yes, I would like to comment on Mr. Mumford's comment regarding the vacation. Maybe a vacation for the students, but I do not get those same laudatory comments from the parents. So I will speak on that a little bit later in my comments. And thank you very much, Cole, for eloquently acknowledging the contributions of Nurse Shay. We appreciate you, so thank you very much. It's great to hear that from the students' perspective. Much appreciated.
Thanks, sir. Okay, anything else? Board? All right, UT, use your discretion. It's a school night. We'll just move on when y'all get ready. We'll see you. Okay, Cole. All right, that takes us to our first action item of the night. Dr. Coleman, CIP amendment. And I know, all right, for my fellow board and the listening audience, I know Dr. Coleman has some prepared comments. And so I don't want to take any of his thunder, because I've read his comments. They're going to articulate what we're doing and why. But I do want to say, for the board and the listening audience and the teachers, employees at Wight County School, the proposal for action tonight is the end result of a very deliberate process that's been going on for, what, 8 some odd months now?
Yes.
We started this endeavor months ago. Mr. Wooster and I sat down with a couple members of the Board of Supervisors, with some key members of Dr. Kramer's staff, you included, Mrs. Briggs. Kind of looked at the student capacities versus program capacities. We came up with regulation FBR.
Yes.
We did the Tischler Bice study, which looked at projected student population growth as a result of the housing developments that are in queue. Mm-hmm. And that brings us tonight. And so what Dr. Coleman's going to present tonight is effectively an amendment to our CIP. What it does do is it affords the county, and when I say the county, the Board of Supervisors, it affords those folks the opportunity to take advantage of potential proffers to support school construction if they determine whether or not to approve housing projects. It does not guarantee that a housing project is going to be approved or disapproved. It does not guarantee us money, and it does not guarantee that the project is going to take place. It merely establishes a vehicle, an opportunity, if it arises, for the county to take advantage of proffers. And on that, I will turn it over to you. We'll see how this unfolds.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair, school board members, Dr. Kramer. All right. This is a request to add Smithville High School renovation and capacity expansion to the school board CIP. Now, when we began this facilities planning, of course, our immediate focus was based on need and timing, and that was the West Side replacement project. Now, as we worked through and revised, as the chair stated, FBR in detail, it became clear that West Side cannot be evaluated in isolation. FBR requires division-wide capacity planning, grade alignment, and future enrollment impact analysis, as Tischler and Bice provided for us. Once the broader lens was applied, it was evident that without a Smithfield High School expansion and renovation, we would have no available instructional space to transition 6th graders as required by the regulation. Leaving Smithfield High School unaddressed would stall grade alignment and undermine the system-wide capacity study that we just completed. Including Smithfield High School on the school board CIP now ensures full alignment with FB-R, provides a complete picture of division-wide needs. Now, additionally, after several meetings, we confirmed that a project must appear on the county's county's 5-year CIP plan to be eligible for developer proffers. I just want to go into more detail about this so everyone understands. If Smithfield High School expansion is not added to our CIP first, we cannot request county replacement. The project becomes ineligible, which results in the loss of potential developer contributions that reduce local taxpayer burden. Adding the project to our CIP does not, and I repeat, does not obligate the county for funding. It simply ensures accuracy, transparency, and compliance with the planning requirements governing school facilities. So once again, adding Smithfield High School expansion does not obligate the county funding in any form or fashion. But it does allow the county to apply for proffers for us when we do move forward with that project. It's not even forcing the county's hand to a timeline of when it needs to be done. It opens up options for us, and with those extra funds. And the proffers overall, it's not taking away local funding, it is adding to local funding. Just FYI, I don't want anyone to get mixed up on that. With that stated, I'm requesting that Smithfield High School renovation and capacity expansion be added to the school board CIP. With that, I am open for questions at this time.
That's a lot to digest, especially if you haven't been following it. And I think this is it's a complicated process. I think two big takeaways, right? To what you said, in order for the county to potentially collect proffers,
yes,
it's got to affect school capacity.
Yes.
Based off Tischler-By survey, we now know that because Smithfield High School today physically occupies 20 classrooms that are actually Smithfield Middle School.
Right, that's correct.
That school is over capacity today.
That is correct.
Based on Tischler-By. So first requirement, your school or your school facility has to be at capacity. Smithfield High School checks that box.
It does.
The second requirement per Virginia law is that it has to be identified on the county's 5-year capital improvement plan. If we approve this tonight, that's the second check in the box. And again, we're not obligating, we're not required to proceed. It merely gives the Board of Supervisors, when they're presented with the housing development, if that developer says, hey, we're willing to offer you X number of dollars to proceed with this project because Smithfield High is at capacity, it affords them a legal opportunity to accept it. Without that, they cannot take it.
That is correct.
Mr. Collick, you want to speak to this any? I know you've been pretty in-depth with it with me most recently.
First thing, Dr. Coleman, is you know, I was concerned about this for quite a while because I really thought with the amount of new houses being built that we were going to have to need another high school, not just 20 or 30 classes. So my question was, if Tischler-Bice, if the study is wrong and they underestimated considerably, and we needed to build another school, and we had taken all these proffers with the intent of adding on to Smithfield High School, could we take that money to build a new high school instead? If you could explain that.
All right. I am, once again, I'm not an attorney in any form or fashion, but just based off of what we have done before. The Board of Supervisors had proffers from whatever projects they had at the time. The band room renovation was a project that was on the CIP. With that stated, I think we all know that the band room renovation was afforded by those proffers. Now, was the proffers earmarked for band room renovation? I do not believe that was.
Right.
So in turn, to your question, I would say that proffers are not earmarked to a certain project. But once again, I would like to refer to someone who knows a little bit more in-depthly about that.
If I may, Mr. Colleague, I just want to respond to that question. I think Dr. Coleman is absolutely correct. I think that's probably a question more appropriately asked of the county. I think Mr. Robertson, the county administrator, and perhaps Attorney Jones would probably be best suited to respond to that question. We want to get you an answer, but I don't think we are the experts in that area as it pertains to proffers.
Because Mr. Robertson did actually answer the question at our meeting, and it was basically, as long as it's for the expansion, you know, it doesn't have to be used solely for that project, but it's got to impact where these new houses are being built.
That is correct.
And it's got to be for an expansion both. So if, you know, God forbid we, you know, ended up growing more than we thought and we did need another school, we would be able to do that. And that's what sold me on supporting this as a CIP item.
Yes,
because
sir.
I think Tish LaBice did a very good job with the methodology, but the numbers, I really want to see what the numbers are for the next 2 or 3 years.
Right.
And I think putting this in a 5-year SIP is the perfect vehicle to be able to, like the chairman said, we would be able to have a vehicle to obtain proffers, but at the same time be watching what do we really need. Do we need to expand Smithfield High? Do we need another high school or what? So, no, I think this is great. I think it's the right thing to do, and I think this is the right time to do it.
Yes, sir.
I think it's worth saying out loud that we're doing something that should have been done years ago. We're putting a plan in place. We're not just planning and talking about it, pontificating. We're putting it in writing. As the saying goes, failing to plan is planning to fail. I think we find ourselves in a spot today where we wish we'd have made decisions years ago. And I'm also very pleased to sit up here tonight and say that we've put forth a lot of effort. This board and the County Board of Supervisors and your staffs have spent a lot of time working closely to get to where we are tonight. And I think that's a huge improvement to where we've been in the recent past. So I'm happy about that. Anybody else? Ms. Perkins?
If we move, say, the CTE programs to a different building, they're considered part of the high school, would the proffers be able to be used for renovating anything to do with maybe that specific aspect instead of the high school as a whole?
Well, I have to fall back to what Mr. Collick stated a little earlier, where the proffers are collected from in that particular vicinity, the increase, the overall expansion of that, I guess you can say the overage of that, that is where the proffers needs to be used at. So in the CT areas that you're speaking of, if that's an area of Smithfield High School, or let's just say the Smithfield Carrollton area where the proffers are coming from, then yes. Can those proffers be taken and used in an area like Carsville? I don't know about that. That's when I would go with Dr.
If the
Kramer
CTE
stated.
program stayed in the area of growth and we moved it to a different building or something, just as an example, it would probably be able to be used for that.
Yes, for expansion.
I think that was the specific analogy that was discussed.
Yeah, that was.
It was and I think the band room is the perfect example.
Right.
So the reason that was used for proffers is because our existing band room was too darn small.
Mm-hmm.
So the band room was at capacity. They had proffers. They used those proffers to turn a boiler room into a bigger band room.
That is correct.
I've just got one question for you. This is for my benefit as well as the public.
Yes, sir.
When we're sitting here talking about proffers, I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't fully understand the meaning of proffers. I will freely admit I'm not well versed in it myself. But when it comes to looking at proffers for situations like these, and this might not be a question you can answer at this point, but how is it generally calculated? Is it based on population? Is it based on growth, buildings? Any idea how it's calculated?
No, sir, I don't have the calculation methodology behind that. That's something I can seek from the county and try to find that answer for you and get back to you, but I do not have that methodology behind that.
Okay, I was just curious, again, for myself and the public in general. If you can get an answer with me and get back at a later date, that'll be fine.
I definitely will.
Appreciate it.
All right. Pending any other comments, I'd entertain a motion if someone would like to make it.
Mr. Chair, I move to amend the capital improvement plan as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? And just for the board, I do believe it's the desire of the Board of Supervisors to have Dr. Kramer or Dr. Coleman, whoever you decide, to present in January what we're doing tonight. And again, it's about transparency and making sure the public understands what we're doing.
Right.
So, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Colick?
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins?
Yes.
Mr. Wooster?
Yes.
And Mr. Marsh?
Yes, motion passes. Thanks, Doc. Next action item is 15.2, substitute pay increase. Ms. Sullivan?
Okay, tonight we are coming to you all. You might remember this time last year, there was an increase to the minimum wage in the state of Virginia, and our lowest paid band of substitute pay rates is at an hourly rate that is at the minimum wage. And in order for us to stay within compliance of that, we need to increase the lowest level base pay of our substitute rate. So as of January 1st, 2026, the minimum wage is going from $12.41 an hour to $12.77 an hour. And so with that, we would need to increase our daily sub pay rate from $95 even to $95.78 in order to stay in compliance with the minimum wage increase.
Okay. Is it fair to say that as we move forward and we get, I suspect next year when we start talking about compensation study, that our substitute pay rates will be included in that discussion?
Yes, so we've already started quite a bit of that conversation, and Dr. Kramer and Ms. DeVary will be bringing you more numbers in the coming months, January and February, with looking at an increase to our other sub pay rates. But this is one that we need to make a change to. And getting feedback from the company that we work with, we're talking like a $2,000 overall cost increase to our budget for this year for this change. But we will be coming with numbers that would have a much greater change in our increase to sub rates for other daily rates in the future.
So to restate what you just said, if we approve what you're presenting tonight, the impact on the remaining FY26 budget is approximately
$2,000.
$2,000. Got it.
Yeah.
And I think to your point, Mr. Chair, some of the other larger concerns as it pertains to subs, some of the comments we've heard from our teachers, we are, as Mrs. Sullivan stated, prepared to address that. And just to clarify, when you say next year, you mean next, this current fiscal year, but next calendar year, like January?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
So yes, we will certainly bring additional information back to the board prior to or shortly thereafter winter break regarding subpay.
Okay. Again, if someone's willing to make a motion, this is an action item.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the substitute pay increase as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Clerk?
Mr. Colick?
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins?
Yes.
Mr. Wooster?
Yes.
And Mr. Marsh?
Yes, motion passes. Take a quick 5. All right, we're back in section. Ms. Cooprider, you've got it,
Sir. Ooh, that is a very hot mic. This evening, I wanted to present our purchase request for the 2026-27 school year Chromebooks. It is before you. It's $410,400 for 2 grades worth of Chromebooks, which is about 900 devices.
Only question I got, sir, and it's a rhetorical question, I know the answer. This was all part of the budget discussions last year. We're just
Yes, sir.
executing plans that were put in place when we did the budget.
Yes, sir.
No strays from those plans, everything's going as...
There's always variances. To give you an idea, the cost of devices have probably gone up 10% in the past 4 months.
That's never good to hear. Not surprising, but it's not good to hear.
I expect another round of increases to occur in January, so that's why I brought it a little early this year.
Got it. Okay. Any questions, comments from the board?
Yeah, like Mr. Marsh said, this is on the budget, but when we start talking about this for next fiscal year, the question I have is the same question I have every year. What is our return on investment? In other words, have we seen an increase in the proficiency levels at any of the benchmark grades for students in any of the subjects? You know, for example, our 3rd graders who are proficient in reading, has that increased over the past 4 years with the use of technology? I just want to find out if this is having an impact, a positive impact on our kids, given every one of them their own piece of technology, if you will, or would it be better to have the technology available for the students in the classroom? But again, I'm not asking you tonight, Mr. Cooprider, obviously, but this is something that I definitely want to address as we work the budget coming in for the 26-27 budget. I've read a lot over the past year. There's plus and minuses. You know, there's some people that are completely against having technology in the classroom. Some people are 100% for it. Right now, I'm for the status quo until we can figure out how it's affecting our kids.
Just to add to the discussion, and I'm not leaning one way or the other, but as an FYI, we already have them as classroom sets through K through 4 for the most part. We're discussing shifting 5th grade to a classroom set as well. That has not been finalized yet. It's something me and Ms. Getz have been talking about for the last several months. But just to be aware, during your discussion, there's a lot more intricacies with technology in the workplace today than there were just a few years ago. A great example I had, I was just talking to Ms. Sullivan a little while ago actually about how her husband working on cars is working as much on the computer side as he is on the mechanical side. So during those discussions, make sure and include all the in-depth importance that exposing children to technology, not necessarily all day long, but exposing and giving them the chance to be successful in life.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about that. My concern is we'll have kids that are relying more on computers than on learning, you know, things they have to learn. You know, multiplication tables, learning how to spell. You know, common thing I hear is, "Oh, I've got spell check." You know, you know, things like that. So, are we making sure the kids are learning before they're using the computer, you know, for the same thing?
I can't necessarily answer that. That's an instructional question.
Exactly. No, I don't expect you to answer that. That's.
I will bring up a common thing I remember from my schooling, though, which was you won't have a calculator with you all the time.
Right.
It's not really accurate anymore.
Exactly.
So.
Okay. But thank you. That was that was my only comment, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, sir. Anybody else? All right. It's another action item.
Mr. Chair, I move to allow the purchase of student Chromebooks for the 2026-2027 school year as presented.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Colick?
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins?
Yes.
Mr. Wooster?
Yes.
And Mr. Marsh?
Yes, motion passes. And in concert with that one, that takes us to the next action item, sale of surplus equipment.
Yes, sir.
Scoop Writer.
So every year we work very hard to make sure that we are expending our surplus equipment while it still might maintain some value. We work really hard making sure we rotate things out that are no longer in use. And currently that list is included on board docs. It includes like 1,700 Chromebooks that we bought in 2020 and 700 Apple laptops that were bought before 2020, 2015 through 2019, as well as miscellaneous other items.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, sir.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the request to sell surplus items with data destruction guarantees as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Colick?
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins?
Yes.
Mr. Wooster?
Yes.
And Mr. Marsh?
Yes, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. 16.1, accountability update. Mrs. Loud, Ms. Getz. A little bit of enthusiasm, Mrs. Getz. I can see it on your face. There we go.
Great. Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Dr. Kramer. Ms. Loud mainly, and myself a little bit, will be sharing with you the most recent and very recent, just released this week, results of the new accountability framework. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Loud.
All right, great. Good evening. So the first part of this is going to be a review of what we've talked about before. So the components of the school performance and support framework are up on your slide. Each level has 3 components. Elementary and middle have mastery, growth, and readiness. And then high school has mastery, readiness, and graduation. So the percentages that were on that first slide don't really apply to us because every one of our schools has missing indicators. So this slide shows what happens when we're missing one of the indicators for a given component. So for example, when a school is missing science, so they don't have a 5th grade, so Hardy and Carrollton, that 10% that was going for science is then divided equally between reading and math. If a school, which is all of our schools, has less than 15 English learners, that percentage is divided among the other indicators. And then if a school is missing growth, so Carrollton goes to 3rd grade. Growth is only available for 4th grade and above. So previously, the last time we talked about this, the information from VDOE was that Carrollton would not get a category assigned. That has changed. Carrollton is now being paired with Westside as their feeder school. So Carrollton is being judged on some of Westside's data, and I'll show you some of that later on.
And let me just add, this is a result of kind of the odd grade level configurations that exist in Isle of Wight. If we had the K-5 configuration, which is typical for an elementary school, this would not be happening with the exception of our EL students because we don't have a large enough population. But the growth and the science, that would not be happening. It happens because of our grade configuration.
Okay, so the next 3 slides are pretty in-depth. I have them here for you to take a look at, but they are the same ones from previous presentations. But what these show is the actual percentage for each component at elementary, middle, and high, and then what's included in each component. It's helpful to think of those top percentages, so on this slide, the 55, 35, and 10, as kind of the max score for each component. So when we get into the component scores, kind of think back to these slides, okay? So elementary turns out to be 55% for mastery, 35% for growth, and 10% for readiness. Middle, 50% for mastery, 30% for growth, and 20% for readiness. And then high school gets wonky. So we get into the decimal points, so 44.5, 16.7 for graduation, and 39 for readiness. Okay? All right. So these are the scores for each component for each school, as well as their final framework score. It's important to note that these are not percentages, okay? Go back to those last three slides. That max for elementary, the max of the 55% for mastery. So Carrollton Elementary, for example, got 52.49 points out of potentially 55. Okay, so it's really important to understand these are not percentages. These are scores. So the component scores in the first four columns are then added up to get an overall framework score. There's an asterisk there for Carrollton. Their growth score, that's actually Westside's growth score. They get judged on that. Westside Science is also included in Carrollton's mastery score. Okay? Interrupt me, please.
Yes. In the future, could we, just to make your point, could you put like where it says mastery score in parentheses, put 0 to 55?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because if you hadn't said that, I'd have been assuming that's a percentage.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just going to assume that the framework, the final score is what everybody up here understands is A, B, C, D, E, whatever.
So there's four categories. So the framework score is up to 100. But you'll notice because we use indices, Windsor High has over 100. So we're going to talk about that because we're really proud of that one. So think of the framework score up to 100. Okay? 0 to 100.
And explain the off-track, on-track.
Yep. So those framework scores translate into performance categories. So distinguished performance categories is 90 points or above. On track is 80 to 89 points. Off track is 65 to 79. And then needs intensive support is below 65. Okay? So those framework scores in that last column translate to these performance categories. But schools can also be federally identified. There are three types of federal identification. There's comprehensive support and improvement, targeted support and improvement, and additional targeted support and improvement. Comprehensive support and improvement, CSI schools are the lowest performing 5% of Title I schools across the state. Please.
And a school gets categorized by one of these based off the VDOE's framework score?
Based on the framework score, yes. For the comprehensive support and improvement, it's based on the overall framework score. So that right-hand column, well, it's my right hand.
The last column.
The last column. For targeted support and improvement, what the VDOE does is it calculates subgroup framework scores. So for each student group within the school, the VDOE calculates a framework score as if those were the only kids in the school. So if a school has 45 students with disabilities, the scores from those 45 students earns a framework score. That framework score is then compared against the CSI schools, and if that framework score is lower than the CSI schools, then the school is identified as targeted support and improvement.
Can you try to explain again, maybe in a different way, what you're talking about with this kid with disabilities? How is that being separated?
So each student group, so there's 8 Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, multiple races, English learners, students with disabilities, and economically disadvantaged. So those are the subgroups that the federal government looks at. So each of those groups gets its own framework score for each school.
And then that's somehow meshed into VDOE's overall framework?
So that's in, so
we use the overall framework.
This framework score is for all students in each building.
Everyone, regardless of subgroup?
Regardless.
Okay.
That's their overall score. With targeted support and improvement for federal, they look at the subgroups. So each of those subgroups gets its own score. And then those scores are compared, and that's how schools would be identified as a targeted support and improvement school.
So let's just say, for example, and I'm making this up, I'll use Windsor Elementary because that's where one of my kids are. I'm familiar with that. Perhaps the children in Windsor Elementary that are with special needs are not doing good at all. So the federal is going to pull those kids apart, and that equates to what? Separate funding?
It potentially, yes. Yes. So
for the whole school or for the subgroups?
It goes to the school, but it's earmarked for targeted support and improvement for that specific subgroup where they were identified.
Really?
Yes.
And it's important to note that this information that was just shared, we don't know until the end when all test and framework scores are calculated. We then learn what the bottom lowest 5% of Title I schools are by which we're going to be compared. So I don't know what it is every year. It's a moving target every year until all testing is completed and the framework is calculated. And we know this is, what we're explaining is the effort to be more transparent. That is what was changed, to be more transparent. We are very well aware how complicated it is. We talk and talk and talk about it, and it's still a lot to wrap your heads around. I can't imagine what a person who doesn't do this every day can even thinks about this.
So
it's complex.
Can you go back to the overall framework? One slide forward.
Forward?
That one.
Yep.
So this one makes sense to me. I mean, that's pretty basic. And if I understand the spirit and intent of what the VDOE is doing, I think in years past, if a school lost accreditation, everybody would freak out. The house was burning down. Oh my God, school lost accreditation. And I know that in years past, every school division in the Commonwealth was accredited. And I think some of the fear amongst school divisions is that now this is going to give a different picture of the reality, perhaps. But if my understanding is correct, they're trying to make it so that if you're off track, it doesn't mean that it's supposed to produce more assistance rather than, oh my God, the house is burning down. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the final outcome is.
Yeah, I do.
Does
I
that
agree.
make sense? I mean, I'm kind of rambling, but
I've
spoken with some folks that are intertwined with the VDOE in this effort, and I think that's the spirit and intent.
That is the intent.
Yeah,
that is the intent.
I mean, I think most people, if they were honest, would say if every school in the state is accredited, something's not right.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But I don't know if every school in the state has ever been accredited. I would push back on that. I would say many, probably more than, so the state is trying to increase rigor.
Right.
There's certainly probably more than there currently are now. But I just want to, for the record, state that every school in the state has not been accredited.
Mm-hmm.
It's complicated. I'll give you that.
It's
is.
very complicated.
So you know, as we move forward, and Mr. Collick wants to ask, how are we doing? We can't use this as a benchmark. I mean, this is all over the place because this is new. So we're looking specifically at SOL scores? What are we looking at?
So I think it can be used as a benchmark with a caveat. I think it doesn't have the whole picture. So actually, I'm going to go on to my next slide, and I'm going to show you why I say that. So any school that gets a federal identification status has their performance category lowered by 1 level, okay? So these are the final performance categories. So you'll see the framework, that's the overall student framework, and then that middle column shows whether a school was identified federally. Hardy was identified for their Students with Disabilities group, so there's some additional supports that are needed for that subgroup. So that's why their final performance category is off track, even though they have the second highest framework score of any elementary school in this division. Yet their final performance category is off track, whereas the others are on track. So that's why I say it does show kind of how we're doing, but with some caveats. Because in general, we are doing well at our elementary and middle schools.
So keep in mind the 80 to 89 is on track.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at where Hardy fell, 85, they're right in the middle of being on track. But because they're students with disabilities, in the comparison with the lowest 5% of Title I schools, they achieved lower than that benchmark score. They are now off track because it drops you 1 level. So if you're distinguished and you are federally identified, you're no longer distinguished, you're on track. If you're on track and you become federally identified, you are now off track. And so that's the piece where I say it's a moving target we could not have known. We actually thought our schools were going to all be on track until this literally just came out a couple days ago with this federally identified information, because we didn't know that information until a couple of days ago. No division did.
Because we don't have access to other school divisions' data. So I don't know what the bottom 5% is before
It's across the
state.
Commonwealth.
It is, yes.
Okay.
And how many schools? 300 and some?
There are 327 targeted support and improvement schools, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but
So
there's
a
over
lot
300.
of schools got hit with this federally identifying piece.
And to your question about funding, the federal pot stays the same, but now there are more schools identified, so that slice gets smaller.
Yep. So we're not necessarily getting additional funds because we're federally identified, but we do have to submit a plan to tell the state, what are we going to do differently for Hardy to get them on track? But that's going to be locally funded probably.
In large
It's
part.
one of those, unfunded mandates that you like, Mr. Marsh.
It's my favorite term.
I know.
So I do want to call out our 2 high schools.
Yeah.
Both high schools were distinguished. And Windsor High, with that 105.3 framework score, they are actually the second highest high school in our region. So they have a lot to celebrate. And I wish he hadn't left. I saw him leave at the break. But I wish the Windsor High delegate hadn't left. but they had the second highest overall framework score in the region, and they had the highest 3E readiness score. So Windsor High is doing a phenomenal job preparing our kids for the next step.
And the only high school that was better in our region is a public charter school that has about 70 students in it. So it's not really comparable to what Windsor High School is. So they are really to be commended for their outstanding work.
So you're going to package this up into something nice and neat and send it to Mr. Fileski at the newspaper, right?
Absolutely.
We
It's
are
a
prepared to do
really
that,
big
yes.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give them
both
credit.
high schools, super. I mean,
Yes.
both high schools really well, but even Windsor High to be the top in our region is very impressive.
And if I may add, you ladies have stated this very well. I don't have much to add in addition to what you've already said, but I don't think we can stress this enough. All of our schools have done extremely well.
Yes.
And our middle schools, our elementary schools, many are just a few points on the framework score below distinguished. And I think it is important to state that Hardy's overall framework score is second highest, slightly second highest in our division in all of the elementary schools. Certainly, we're been identified as a targeted support and improvement school in one of the subgroups, and that's the students with disabilities. So no question, we will be addressing that. But again, it is important to, I think, stress that all of our schools are doing well, and to all of our principals, our teachers, kudos and congratulations to you. We have seen some of the other data from some of the other districts broadly, and we are one of the highest performing divisions in this region, no question about that, and we have the data here to support that. So all of our schools are doing well, and I commend our teachers, our students, our staff members for producing these very laudable data sets. Absolutely.
Do you all have any other questions?
This is the final report for,
This is final, yes, sir.
and this is applicable not to, this is the last school year? I mean,
Yeah, so it's based on data from last year.
so how far behind are we? I guess that's the question.
Months?
Yeah, almost a semester.
Yeah. We should have received this in September.
Yeah, typically we get all of this data in September. Because this is the first year of implementation, what VDOE did was they partnered with ODU for data verification. So that's why there was a delay in the federal identification and the final framework scores and things like that.
So we will be required to do an action plan for Hardy. Right now, that is due January 30th on a template that has not yet been released. So once we get the form that we have to complete the plan on, we will complete it. It will be brought to you because it has to be approved by you.
By what date?
January 30th.
That's great.
And we just learned this week, and we don't have the template yet. It's not available.
Okay, let us know if you need us to ring any doors.
That would be great. But that's coming your way, I want you to know.
I'm serious. If you want me to pick up the phone and start ringing doors, then
Maybe. It seems like the timeline seems very
Condensed.
aggressive to get all of that done in the amount of time. And given that we are going to be on break as well for the holidays, it seems like it's a very short time frame.
Okay. Thanks. Let us know if you need any support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Very, monthly finances.
Good evening. I just have a couple things to bring to your attention. The health insurance fund is doing well, even though it shows that we are about 17.6% increase in claims since this time last year. The contributions that we are making to the fund are up almost 35%. So we have a positive year so far, and am projecting it to continue that, just from what we know from the first 5 months of this year. Mr. Chairman, you look good.
No, I'm looking at the question that I asked you in the response, and I don't want to sound like a complete idiot, to be honest with you. So the question was, we're 6 months into the fiscal year, and our current balance is at $2.3 million. What's the projected balance at the end of the fiscal year? And you say that based off where we're at now, 5 months in, we have a projected surplus of $324,000.
So you would add that on to the 2.3, so it'd be 2.6 million.
Okay, so if everything finished out at the end of the year, based on where we're at, we'll have $324,000 on top of.
Correct.
So we've still got that cushion.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
I apologize.
Okay. Thank you. That's good.
On the Child Nutrition Fund, you will see that year to date it is showing a deficit currently of about $371,000. There are a couple of things to point out there. First of all, our claims, the federal claims, we are a month in arrears. So like the November claims don't get placed until this month in December. So we're 1 month in arrears there. The other thing is with food services, you have a lot of upfront costs, a lot of upfront food costs that we have to spend at the beginning of the year. So I'm tracking this closely with Mrs. Couch, and she's, pretty confident that everything is going to level out, and I would agree. Okay. The compensation study, that has come up numerous times. We have received some preliminary information that we are currently reviewing. However, we have gone ahead and scheduled the consultant to be at your January 15th board meeting to make a presentation.
Okay. Is it worthy of a separate meeting altogether? I don't know how much material is going to be presented.
I'll leave that to Dr. Kramer.
Yeah, I'm not sure that. I think we can have some perhaps 2-1 meetings with you all to sort of delve into that information. And if you think it warrants a separate meeting, we can certainly have that discussion. At this stage, I don't think it would. But again, if the board members have more questions, I think that's going to really pertain to how many questions you would have and how much additional information you might want to have, excluding Mr. Cunningham is nodding over here like he doesn't care.
He's
what we
already
do.
checked out.
Right. But again, I think that would be up to you. If you think it deserves an additional meeting, we can certainly look at that.
So we'll play it by ear. Okay. I'm looking forward to that. There was one question I asked about grant funds, ma'am. You said that we're looking at a shortfall in the federal grant IDEA?
Yes. Well, the shortfall being that there were not sufficient funds to cover the staffing that we normally cover with that. It's about 0.43 FTE of a clerical position. It amounts to about $37,000. So that's going to have to be covered with local funds in the current fiscal year, and then, of course, transferred from the grant funds for this next year's budget.
Okay.
And there might be some with Title I too, but as far as I know, we are not expecting a shortfall there.
And those are all estimates early on anyways, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Got
it. They apply for those grants, like right now or this time of the year.
Right.
And then once you do salaries, benefits, that whole thing, it's quite a time goes by, with
Sure,
making
things
those
change.
requests.
Anybody else? Appreciate all your work.
Okay. I think I'm on the next item too. If there aren't any other questions on the financials.
You are. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yesterday was the deadline to submit a proposal for architectural and engineering services to design for a new west side. We received 6 proposals yesterday, so now staff will take those, will review them, and score them in accordance with the RFP, and then from there we will interview and negotiate with top 2 or maybe 3, depending on how they are scored. So I don't think we have sufficient time to bring a recommendation back to you at your January 15th meeting because of the holidays. So we would intend to bring that hopefully in February.
Comments, questions? Yeah, sounds good. And again, if you think this is something that's worthy of a work session, then just let us know.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we'll jump right into the operations update. All right. There was some conversation earlier concerning the SCAP, the School Construction Assistant Program, and the items that were on the SCAP. All right, first of all, just to let everyone know, and this is more to the public, I know that the school board members are kind of aware of what's going on. Now, we have submitted 3 projects for SCAP consideration. That's the Smithville High School band room expansion, New Westside Elementary School, and the Windsor High School HVAC replacement. Now, SCAP applications are submitted directly by the school to the VDOE and do not require a separate or endorsement, a formal vote by the Board of Supervisors to be valid. It's submitted directly from the schools to the VDOE. The program asks for only 2 informational questions related to the local governing body. First, whether the local governing body is committed to maintaining or increasing the percentage of local revenues for education over the financing period. And second, the status of design site acquisition, meaning how shovel-ready the project is. These questions are not award criteria, and they do not trigger any new action by the Board of Supervisors. Those are the only 2 questions that are based to the board. Once again, it is not part of the award criteria. All projects must meet the SCAP cost threshold and limits, including a minimum of $500,000 in total project cost for a single school project, or $1 million for multi-school project works, and a maximum of $100 million in project costs for the grant calculations. So we're looking at projects that were already on the CIP. That's what we look for, and all 3 of these projects were on the CIP and very high in the list. So what we wanted to do was concentrate all of the efforts into writing the grant for these 3 projects. Now, based off our calculations, if we do win anything for the SCAP program, it will be 20% of the project. So all of that was submitted on time, and of course, the receipt of delivery was delivered to Dr. Kramer. Any questions concerning the SCAP Construction System Program? All right, just to, I apologize.
One question, since the Smithfield Band Room project, that's already in motion, so if we were to get awarded this grant, the money that we have allocated thanks to the county now for the band project would go back to the county?
Based off of the fact that, and once again, I will let Mr. Very go into more detail concerning that, but based off of the fact that it's not local contributions but proffers, those funds will go back, but I would definitely let Mr. Very go into further detail if I'm way off subject there.
And perhaps important for the people listening to understand that whether or not a locality is granted this depends on their ability to pay. and I think that range is 0.3 to 0.4.
Ranges from, it was.
And we're like 0.38. That's our
Yeah,
composite
we're like
index.
0.38.
So
Absolutely.
we're on the high end of the
The
threshold.
very high
so
end of the threshold.
I'm not very optimistic.
Right, right. And that's it. If there were any questions concerning the SCAP or these different projects that were submitted for SCAP?
Appreciate the work that went into submitting that.
No problem.
On time.
On time.
I'm not sure we're optimistic either, Mr. Chair, but we are going after every dollar we can
Absolutely.
to mitigate cost to our county.
That's right. If you don't ask and set yourself up for an opportunity, then you certainly won't get anything.
Okay. All right. December projects. Now, over the Christmas break, of course, ABM will still be working, and they'll be completing a series of priority projects across the division to improve safety and functionality. Some of the work will include renovations to the job coaching classroom at Smithville High School, progress on a athletics field fence, more on the ADA bleachers. Windsor Elementary School working on the playground for safety and some trees that need to be removed out of there. And I know that Dr. Wilkins would be extremely happy concerning that. The second phase of the roof project will be completed. It was two phases of the roof project. The first phase, initiated on the west side, was the detrimental parts of the building, and it was once again a patch job for this. And there will be a second phase instituted over the Christmas break also. The restrooms will be performed. The work will be performed on the restrooms here at West Side also. It will be broken down and moving the partitions, sinks, different things of that nature. So it's a lot of work being done at the various schools. Now, Carrollton Elementary School will also receive the classroom floors will be waxed and upgrading the hallway lighting to LEDs. Carrollton is one of the final schools that we are upgrading the cafeteria in that, so that final work is being done also. Are there any, and as you already know, there's a couple other things up there also. There will be a lot of work going on during the holiday season. Any other questions concerning the projects going on during that time period? All right. Next, I'd like to call Nurse Abby. So she can go in depth concerning the nursing department status for the first 3 or 4 months of school.
Hello, good evening. Sarah Abby. And here I am. Good evening. I first wanted to share with you guys just some numbers of what our nursing department's been up to this year so far. As of last week, the nurses and the clinic assistants have seen nearly 11,000 clinic visits just across the 9 schools, and almost 6,000 scheduled medication and treatment procedures. Treatment procedures can include things like G-tube feedings, catheterizations, blood glucose testing. One thing that's very exciting for us is that we just recently rolled out the SNAP Health Portal, and this is for the elementary schools, and it's kind of like a digital MyChart, where parents and guardians can follow along with their students and see what their clinic visits are like. They can upload immunizations. They can communicate back and forth with the nursing staff. And it's just one layer that the families can participate in their students' health care during the day. Thank you. And this other exciting thing that I wanted to share with you guys is we recently purchased 2 spot vision screeners, and what these are, they are handheld devices that you can see here in the picture that allow our nursing staff to quickly and efficiently screen students. They are more ideal. The Lions Club will use them for mass screenings when they have to pump out a bunch of them very quickly, or if you have students with behavioral or attention challenges, nonverbal children who can't tell you what they see on a vision chart, this is great for them. And since we've had them, we've been able to screen over 200 students and identify nearly 50 vision issues, so we're pretty excited about that.
Just last week, I got a notification that there was going to be a screening. Is that what they used?
Yes.
I just assumed you were rolling a bus out there, like a medical bus.
No.
That's cool.
Yep. And that's all I have for you tonight.
How many do you have on your team to screen? What was the first slide? You had 10,000.
Say that one more time.
Go back to the first slide. Almost 1,100 visits. How many are on your team?
Less than 20.
Yeah.
We are fully staffed, though, so I'm very excited about that. And I think a lot of that has to do with the increase in substitute pay. So we are very grateful that we have that support layer.
That's good feedback. Y'all are busy for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving right along. Dr. Kramer, I think you're up, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, and we are moving at a wonderful pace this evening, so I will hopefully keep that going. So as the slides are pulled up there, let's start as always with our ISLE Award recipients. For the Inspire ISLE Award, our very own Human Resources Director, Mrs. Laura Sullivan, received the November Inspire Award. Yes. And Mrs. Sullivan, you inspire so many people in your work every day. We truly appreciate you. For the ISLE Succeed Award, Miss Lori Taylor, one of our clinic assistants, received the November Succeed Award, and you see her there in the middle, upper right. And for the ISLE Lead Award, a few of our bus drivers, Mr. Chad Cutchin, Miss Tammy Wells, and Miss Betty Ward, received the November Lead Award. Congratulations to all of our recipients, and let's extend them a well-deserved round of applause for all of our recipients. And it's such a pleasure to go out and present these, and we were actually out today presenting to our December recipients who will be recognized next month. Next, we have our STEM Professional Development at Old Dominion University on our November 10th Professional Development Day. Isle of Wight County Schools partnered with Old Dominion University, Virginia Modeling, Analysis, and Simulation Center for a dynamic hands-on learning experience for STEM educators across the division. Teachers explored emerging technologies, problem-based learning, and real-world applications of modeling and simulation, all guided by university experts. The customized training gave educators new tools and strategies to strengthen instruction, foster creativity, and deepen STEM learning pathways for our students. And we extend a huge thank you to Old Dominion University for providing this opportunity and collaboration. Next, our Young Ladies of Excellence induction ceremony on November 19th. The Young Ladies of Excellence held its annual induction ceremony, proudly welcoming 42 new members into this growing and inspiring organization. The Young Ladies of Excellence include chapters at Westside Elementary, Georgie Tyler Middle, and Hardy Elementary, now serving a total of 61 active members across the division. The mission is to foster leadership, character, confidence, and excellence in young women while strengthening and serving our community. Congratulations to our newest inductees and to the dedicated educators who continue to uplift and empower these future leaders. Next, we have our grade level teachers of the year. Congratulations to the IWCS grade level teachers of the year. These talented educators are as follows. Representing the elementary level, we have Ms. Emily Bradshaw from Windsor Elementary. Representing the middle level, we have Ms. Tally Williford from Smithfield Middle. And representing the high school level, we have Mr. Chris Johnson from Windsor High School. The IWCS Teacher of the Year will be announced in January. Congratulations to these well-deserving educators on this prestigious award and acknowledgement. Next, our wellness workshops on, and I'm very excited about this, on our November 24th Professional Development Day, Isle of Wight County Schools proudly hosted our first wellness workshops at Windsor High School and the School Administration Office in partnership with the Western Tidewater Community Services Board Prevention Team. These sessions focused on compassion burnout and essential prevention techniques, giving staff practical tools to protect their energy, strength and resilience, and continue serving students with purpose and balance. This marks the beginning of our I'll Be Well-Being Workshop Series, say that 10 times fast, created to support the mental, emotional, and professional wellness of our staff. The next sessions will be held on January 5th and January 30th. The workshops offer practical tools, interactive learning, and time to connect with colleagues, all as part of our ongoing commitment to supporting staff wellness. We encourage our team to take time for themselves and join us for one or more of these upcoming sessions. And I'd like to thank Western Tidewater for their partnership, our very own Ms. Laura Sullivan for leading this initiative, and all involved for providing this very meaningful opportunity for our staff. Next, we have our Smithfield High JROTC Battalion Bash. I had an opportunity to join them on November 21st. Smithfield High Battalion Bash JROTC students held a successful day of learning, competing, and having lots of fun. The event served as a morale booster for the hardworking and dedicated students. Thank you for your leadership, Colonel Bedoin and First Sergeant Hunter, and for providing a wonderful leadership opportunity for our talented JROTC students. So, wonderful event that was held at Nike Park back in November. Next, our Student Advisory Board. It is always a pleasure for me to meet with the Superintendent Student Advisory Board. On November 20th, we met at our school administration building. I always learn so much from these talented students. The students provide input and recommendations on the needs of our school division. And during the November meeting, we discussed the students' leadership strengths as well. Thank you, Student Advisory Board members, for sharing your valuable time and contributions. Also, I'd like to thank Mrs. Stacy Rogers for leading a portion of the presentation on the student strengths. And our student liaisons are also a part of this group and this ongoing effort. So Cameron and Cole are also in that photo and are a part of this group. Additionally, I had a chance to meet with our Employee Advisory Committee. On December 2nd, we met with our Employee Advisory Committee, who also shared their concerns and recommendations, many of which I will be sharing with you, members of the board. And this is not the group. This is just an image because I failed to take pictures that evening. So I apologize, Employee Advisory Committee council members, but great meeting with them. And again, I look forward to sharing their recommendations and some of their concerns with you as well. And last, with the advisories, our parent advisory. So on December 4th, we met with our Parent Advisory Committee, who also shared their concerns and recommendations from the perspective of parents. And one of our guests that evening, or that morning rather, was Mrs. Sullivan. Actually, Mrs. Sullivan spoke with the staff advisory and discussed many of their concerns. So all of the concerns will be compiled from students, parents, and staff, and we will again be sharing that information with you, members of the board, as we go into budget season. Next, we have our Special Education Advisory Committee. I had a chance to join our SEAC meeting. Thank you, Ms. Magner, Ms. Daly, and the Special Education Advisory Committee board members for hosting the very informative and productive SEAC meeting, which was held on December 3rd. Thank you for providing such a wonderful opportunity for parents and community. We all learned so much that evening, and if you hadn't had a chance to join one of those meetings, Ms. Magner and Ms. Daly and members of the special ed team, along with the Special Education Advisory Board, and that's who you see seated there, do an excellent job of entertaining questions, concerns, and addressing those questions and concerns in a very timely manner. So kudos to our Special Education Department and our SEAC board. Also, that very week, we had a chance to meet with our Gifted Education Advisory Committee, GEAC is the acronym there. Thank you, Mrs. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Tiffany Truitt, and our dedicated gifted coordinators. And I'd like to highlight them as well. Mrs. Jamie Ball from Carsville Elementary presented on the characteristics of a gifted child. Mrs. Carrie DeLong from Carrollton Elementary presented on our pilot program, Ignite. Mrs. Hannah Holland from Hardy Elementary presented on our new elementary model. And Mrs. Catherine Lancour representing both George G. Tyler Middle School and Smithfield Middle School, presented on the middle school electives. Thank you for an outstanding Gifted Education Advisory Committee meeting, which was held again on December 4th. The committee shared invaluable information with our parents and members of our community. And it was also another opportunity to learn from one another as people were sharing different ideas and thoughts, and also learning with one another. So these were two great events, again, led by this one, our gifted education leaders. Next, I had a chance to attend this event, and a few of you were there. I think you, Mr. Wooster, and I think you, Mr. Cunningham, the ribbon cutting ceremony for our new Riverside Smithfield Hospital. And you see many dignitaries were there. Governor Youngkin was there. I think Representative Jen Kiggins was there. State Senator Jordan, Emily Jordan was there. So it was a wonderful event. So congratulations to the Isle of Wight community on the ribbon cutting ceremony for the unveiling of our new Riverside Smithfield Hospital. It was a pleasure to be in attendance at this monumental event on December 4th. The hospital will be opening in January, and Isle of Wight County, I think, is making tremendous strides in so many areas, and this is just another one of those major contributions to our county and to our community. Next, our Windsor Elementary Junior Deputy event. Just happened to be at Windsor Elementary for another event earlier today, and I had the opportunity to witness the Windsor Elementary Junior Deputy Safety Patrol Program in action. A wonderful partnership led by School Resource Officer Deputy Cepeda. This program gives students a chance to develop leadership, responsibility, and citizenship while helping to create a safe and welcoming environment each morning. During my visit, the newest student leaders were announced as well, and I'd like to acknowledge those young leaders. Grayson Seward is now lieutenant, was promoted. Reed Judkins was promoted to sergeant, and Camden Seward to corporal. So congratulations to these young people. Each of these students earned their promotion through strong character and throughout and thoughtful essays about why they were ready to lead. Again, I'd like to extend a thanks to Deputy Cepeda, to Principal Dr. Wilkins, and the entire Windsor community for supporting such a meaningful opportunity for our students. Programs like this truly strengthen our schools and help our young people shine. Did you want to chime in? Yes, sir.
I do. I want to give echo a shout out to Deputy Cepeda. So every evening when I go pick up my boy from Windsor Elementary, Ms. Cepeda's sitting right up front and center directing traffic. She's always got a grin on her face. She's very pleasant. And as a parent, there's nothing more comforting to see an armed guard, a deputy sheriff, right there front and center when I walk onto that complex. So she's doing a bang-up job up there.
Absolutely. As are so many of our SROs, but in this
I know
case,
they're all doing it, but I see her every day.
Absolutely, that's right. And so I had a chance to witness her great work this morning as well. And as I end here, our next and final slide, I think, our Christmas toy donation. And this occurred, I think, as late as today, if I'm not mistaken, certainly this week. The Isle of Wight County Schools, we're very grateful for the generosity of the Isle of Wight County Sheriff's Office. And Representative, I see you smiling back there, Alex Johnson, thank you for being here. Santa Larry, I'm not sure who Santa Larry is, but it was mentioned that he contributed. And the Zoo Nye Closet, who partnered to support our students and families in need this holiday season. So we can't thank you all enough. So huge, yes, absolutely. A round of applause for all of these groups for helping all of our families, and certainly our families in need. And last, Mr. Chair, as student liaison Cole mentioned, he thanked me for a vacation, certainly not a vacation due to the weather, so let me share some comments here. So, as we all know, we have had several weather events already, and we're not even in January yet. So students, parents, and staff, please know that we work hard to make decisions as soon as possible with the best information available as it pertains to school closings. So when we need to close schools, delay openings, or release early, I know it is a hardship on many of our families with young students. But please know that our decisions are not made lightly. We will continue to make decisions that will keep our students and staff safe. So thank you for your ongoing patience and understanding. And these are very difficult calls, and we are working with county officials, and our crews are on the roads in many cases. But again, we understand that it's a very difficult situation for many of our family members. But in the end, we have to make decisions that are in the best interest of our students and staff and ensuring that we are going to keep our students and staff safe. So again, I thank our community and most importantly, our parents for their patience and understanding. With that, Mr. Chair and members of the board, I would like to wish everyone a safe and joyous holiday season. Happy holidays, everyone, and that concludes my superintendent's update.
Thanks, Dr. Kramer. Just for the sake of getting it off my chest, I'm glad you've got to make that decision and not the board, because the way I see it, you're going to lose either way. So appreciate you making those tough decisions, and certainly recognize that there are going to be plenty of people that are happy and plenty that are not.
And sometimes they live in the same house. Yep.
Understood. Understood. All right. 18-1, personnel report, action item.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the personnel report as presented, a copy of which can be obtained from the school board clerk.
Second.
With motion in 2 seconds. Any comments?
Mike's got it.
Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Colick,
I will abstain.
Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins,
Yes.
Mr. Wooster,
Yes.
and Mr. Marsh.
Yes, motion passes. And then 18-2.
Mr. Chair, I move to uphold the findings and conclusions of the third-party investigator in personnel case number GBA 2526 and to authorize the chair to issue a decision letter on behalf of the board.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Colick,
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins,
Yes.
Mr. Wooster,
Yes.
and Mr. Marsh.
Yes. Motion passes. 18-3.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the enrollment of exchange student 2526-03 to Smithfield High School for semester 2 of 2025-2026 school year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Colick,
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins,
Yes.
Mr. Wooster,
Yes.
and Mr. Marsh.
Yes, motion passes. Moving right along, consent agenda 19.1.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda as attached and presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'd like to quick shout out on the December donation tongue-tied. The December donations, we had a donation from Ms. Wanda Roberts, Isle of Wight Food Pantry. She gave some cookies to Georgie Tyler. Thank you, Ms. Roberts. And Windsor Food Lion donated 100 boxes of food for students in need to Windsor Elementary. Thank you both. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Colick,
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins,
Yes.
Mr. Wooster,
Yes.
and Mr. Marsh.
Yes, motion passes. Well, we're there. I think we're getting close. 20.1, January school board meeting date. It's another action item.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve January 15, 2025 at 4:30 p.m.
2026. 2026.
2026, I apologize, at 4:30 p.m. as the date and time for the annual organizational school board meeting, and January 15, 2026 at 5 p.m. as the date and time of the regular school board meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Colick?
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins?
Yes.
Mr. Wooster?
Yes.
And Mr. Marsh?
Yes, and Madam Clerk, can you please confirm that with soon-to-be board member Ford?
Yes.
Thank you. 20.2, action on new business. Not action, information, regulations. Any comments or questions on the regulations presented? Okay. Ms. Briggs, anything you want to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Appreciate all your work on that. I know you spend lots of time on it. 20.3, policies for second read.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the policies for second read as presented.
Second.
Use his.
We have a moment. Motion in 2 seconds. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Colick?
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mrs. Perkins?
Yes.
Mr. Wooster?
Yes.
And Mr. Marsh?
Yes, motion passes. And as we wrap this up, Mrs. Briggs, would you like to kick this off?
I sure would. Thank you, Chair. I'm actually going to ask if we can have all the board members and members of the dais, including Ms. Whitlow, join us down here for a special presentation. Mr. Cunningham, we want to send you out with a celebration. While they're coming down, in case you don't know, tonight is Mr. Cunningham's last school board meeting with us as a board member, and we would like to recognize him. So, Dr. Kramer, I'm going to hand this to you. Okay. And let me read something while y'all stand there. This evening, we pause to extend our heartfelt appreciation to Mr. Michael Cunningham as he concludes his service as the Isle of Wight County School Board representative for District 3. Elected in 2021, Mr. Cunningham has brought to this division a deep well of experience, a steadfast commitment to public education, and an unwavering belief that education is the key to success. A proud graduate of Virginia State University, a United States Marine Corps veteran, a retired U.S. Army officer, and a retired Department of Defense civilian, Mr. Cunningham has dedicated his life to service, leadership, and community. He brought that same spirit to IWCS, always advocating for meaningful opportunities for students and supporting programs that prepare them for life beyond high school. As a former substitute teacher who taught in nearly every school in the county, Mr. Cunningham has long understood the heart of our classrooms. His connection to IWCS is also deeply personal, as both of his children have been part of Smithville High School's community. His support of our high schools, and specifically of programs like golf and the Stop the Bleed initiative led by the Smithville High JROTC, has left a lasting positive impact. Throughout his tenure, Mr. Cunningham brought thoughtful insight, a collaborative spirit, and a genuine passion for helping every student thrive. He has consistently championed strategies that strengthen teaching, learning, and student well-being across all grade levels. Although he is stepping away from the board to spend more time with his family, we want Mr. Cunningham to know that he will always be a part of the IWCS family. He is forever welcome in our schools, and we sincerely hope he won't be a stranger. Mr. Cunningham, thank you for your service, your integrity, and your dedication to the students and families of Isle of Wight County Schools. It is our honor tonight to recognize you and present you with a plaque of appreciation created by the talented students in the Smithville High School Makerspace. Congratulations, and we wish you the very best in this next chapter.
Sure. Let's go around the table here. You want to?
I will certainly kick it off, Mr. Chair. Not to belabor the point, but Mr. Cunningham, you are one of the members who was on the board when I started almost 4 years ago now. I personally would like to thank you, sir, for your kindness, for your dedication to not only our county, but you have served our country. So for all that you've done for our country, and since I've been here, for our county, for this board, for our school division, I applaud you and I thank you tremendously, sir. We'll absolutely miss your service, your contributions, and again, you're always kind, you're always smiling, and I appreciate that. So thank you so very much. And although we'll miss you off the board, you still live in the community, so we'll still stay in touch. But thank you, and we greatly appreciate all that you've done for Isle of Wight County.
It has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you and working with you. I love hearing your history. I know you have a passion for the schools and the community, and it has shown in everything you've done on the board as we've been working with you.
Thank you. Mike, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate the fact that you've always made yourself available when I call. You keep me imbalanced. Sometimes I get wound up and wrapped around the axle. You've been a voice of reason for me more times than not, and I appreciate it. And I'm a little bit envious. So I am. Enjoy the time off, man. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Well, y'all are really making this a tough act to follow here. But, Mr. Cunningham, I've enjoyed getting to know you. We have had differences of opinions. We have agreed with each other. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Don't be a stranger. And maybe now you'll answer your phone.
Yeah. It won't be the school board.
Well, Mike, it's been a pleasure. It's been you're the longest serving school board member up here tonight. You've done a lot for the community, you've done a lot for the country. And I'm hoping that next year, in November, you'll meet us at the Smithfield Inn, I believe, or Smithfield Station, and to have a drink and spend some time with some Marines. Congratulations. Good luck. Enjoy your retirement.
The floor is yours, sir. No tears.
Okay. I think everybody that knows me knows I have a passion for everything that I get into, and I knew it was time to end my time with the school board. I felt like I was no longer doing the things that I needed to do with my family. It was kind of taken away from time I had, I'm not a spring chicken. So my daughter is working on her doctorates. She's in Tennessee. My son is in college, North Carolina A&T. So it's just my wife and I now. Unfortunately, our pet passed away after 13 years, just before Thanksgiving. And so it's just my wife and I now. And I want to spend time with her and do some things. I still want to do things for the county. I've got this thing I wrote out. Really, I'm not going to read all this. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done to make this job not as hard as it can be. I know a lot of people think school board members, we just go to the meeting once a month and that's it. Oh, it's a lot more. I can tell you, there is a lot to do. We can't come in here
without reviewing what we're going to vote on or talking to parents, even talking to students, finding out where their minds are. We have to make decisions that are going to affect everybody. Teachers, I have a degree in education. I know how hard teachers work, and I know we need to pay them more. That was one of the biggest things I wanted to make sure happen. We're paying you, but we're not paying you enough. There's no way in the world we're paying you enough. But, you know, the board's going to keep fighting for you, and that's what's important. We hear you, we see you, we respect you, and we love you, just like we love all the students. I mean, I'm going to miss talking to the kids, graduation, being up on the stage, shaking hands and hugging the ones that would hug, because that's why we're here. It's all about the kids and making sure they get what they need to succeed in life. I will miss that. All right, so to close out, I want to give a quote from one of my heroes. He's passed away now, the late General Colin Powell. All work is honorable. Always do your best because somebody's watching, and they're watching us. All right, I want to thank the citizens of District 3 for trusting me and supporting me throughout my term, and ask that you do the same for Mr. Ford. It's been an honor and a pleasure, most of the time pleasure, but definitely an honor serving this county. Thank you. God bless. And Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you all.
Good?
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. I think that's a good way to call it. Well said, Mike.
Thanks.
We're adjourned.